He's meet the 2-1 Wake Forest Demon Deacons. And a very pleasant good evening, everyone. I'm Bob Picozzi along with Megan Pattison. Thanks so much for joining us for UConn basketball. And Megan, speaking of joining, a third member of the Huskies senior class has joined the coveted 1,000-point club.
Yeah, Asia Jones joins Swin Cash and Tamika Williams. Did it on Saturday against Rhode Island at the Civic Center. Here, though, you see the nice dish over the head to Swin Cash. And then here going strong to the basket, smoothing the defense. Now, Asia had a terrific afternoon and has had an outstanding career, but they say your personality comes out on the court, and Asia's does. She's very quiet, goes to work every day, does her job, but she lets her play do the talking for her.
Now, Wake Forest is coached by former UConn assistant Charlene Curtis and is trying to rebound from a loss Saturday night at Alabama Birmingham. And when it comes to rebounds, one Wake player has certainly had her share.
Well, LaChina Robinson, 6'4" senior, had a career game against Radford, 20 rebounds. Now, her previous career high was 10, and she got that in the first half. Now, she's predominantly left-handed. She said she wanted to work on her right hand. She's 6'4". She's a senior. She's going to have a very tall order today in the Husky front court.
Public address announcer Jeff Griffin introducing the UConn starting lineup.
Swin Cash. At the other forward, a 6'2" senior from Dayton, Ohio, number 34, Tamika Williams. The Huskies are coached by Gino Oriema. And now the starting lineup for your Wake Forest Demon Deacons. At forward, a 6'1" junior from Clinton Township, Michigan, number 24, Tiffany Listenby. At the other forward, a 6'1" sophomore from Boone, North Carolina, number 40, Afton Hill. At center, a 6'4" senior from Alexandria, Virginia, number 34, LaChina Robinson. At guard, a 5'8" sophomore from Montclair, New Jersey, number 3, Bianca Brown. And at the other guard, a 5'10" sophomore from Roanoke, Virginia, number 30, Tania Brown. The Deacons are coached by Charlene Curtis. She is assisted by Ray Kennedy, Sharon Manning, and Larry Leonard. Coach Curtis and her staff would like to recognize Ross Smith, debate coach, as tonight's guest coach.
Well, Megan, I thought you stepped on something there. What happened to the lights there? Lost the lights in the building. A little bit of showbiz to introduce the Wake Forest lineup. Talk about showbiz. There's Sue Bird, who very shortly will be joining her 3 compadres. She needs 110 points to reach that 1,000-point club.
And the funny thing is, none of the players have any idea when they actually do break 1,000 because they're more worried about winning and getting to that national championship.
I venture to guess, and I'm going to really go out on a limb here, but number 3 in the Husky lineup at some point will be a member of that 1,000-point club.
Dinah Taurasi, she might do that faster than anybody.
Right. She may indeed. Second meeting ever between the two schools. They played last December 22nd at Gamble Pavilion. The UConn Huskies won in a walk, 107-52. This is the second half of the home and home. Sally Bell will toss it up. She's working the game with Eric Bruton and Joe Cunningham. Tap controlled by UConn, and Wake starts out defensively in a man-to-man, and Sue Bird will be defended by Bianca Brown. Pass inside, and Tania Brown got a piece of it, and Tamika Williams with the rebound and travel. Tamika back in the starting lineup after sitting out the Rhode Island game.
It's nice to see her back again. That Rhode Island game, that was just a precautionary measure to keep Tamika out. She's feeling fine.
Full court pressure employed by the Huskies. Bianca Brown gets it across the midcourt line, and before she can get it to her backcourt sidekick, Tania Brown, she's called for the discontinued dribble. So we have 1 turnover for each team. What a beautiful facility this is. 12 years old, seats 14,665. 3 times it has hosted first and second round NCAA men's tournament games.
And a few shy of 14,000 in attendance here.
Won't be that many tonight. Diana Taurasi with her 14th three-pointer of the season. She's now shooting over 50% from three-point range. 4th best in the Big East. Right sideline, Tania Brown, defended by Jones, who got a piece of it, but a kick is called. So that will recycle the 30-second shot clock for Wake.
A different intensity on the defensive end for the Huskies. Not happy with their performance, particularly in the first half against Rhode Island.
And that came in a game where they held the opposition to 20% shooting. Turnover number 2 for Wake. Afton Hill loses the ball out of bounds. Hill, an all-ACC freshman team member last year in her first year in the program. Swin Cash up high to Tamika Williams. Taurasi, her second 3 of the night.
Well, you got to know the scouting report, and coming in, you're not going to give Diana Taurasi 2 wide-open threes in successive possessions.
So Charlene Curtis wants to nip this in the bud right away. Timeout only a minute 14 in, and UConn out to a quick 6-0 lead over the Demon Deacons.
Well, great offense there. You see, the thing about Taurasi, she gets her feet set, and then the stroke is just so smooth. See, boom, step right into it. Great release, great follow through. Yet you still have a bunch of teammates. You see, Asia Jones had great inside position there for the offensive rebound.
To give you an idea how balanced this UConn attack is and how many weapons they have, Taurasi on Saturday against Rhode Island only took 4 shots. She was 2 for 4 from the floor and had 9 points. The first time this season she has not scored in double figures.
Yeah, and Tamika Williams didn't even play, and yet they won by 50. And people talk about they don't have a lot of depth this year, but and they may not, but the players that start the game are pretty darn good.
Yep, 5 double-figure scores. The Huskies have scored all 6 points off Wake turnovers in the early going, and here's another one. Cash with the steal, 3-on-2. Bird, pull-up jumper.
She may have taken an extra step that time. She's laughing a little bit.
UConn pitching a shutout, nearly 2 minutes in. Bianca Brown, defended by Bird, who leads the Huskies in steals. Right side, Tania Brown, back to Bianca. Hill for 3. Rebound in the lane, pulled down by Taurasi. Left side, Bird. Inside, Jones. Closer inside, Tamika Williams.
Outstanding passing on the break by the Huskies, making the right pass at exactly the right time.
It's 10-0 UConn. And Wake Forest having trouble just getting the ball across the midcourt line. Finally, they do. Right side, it's Tania Brown. As she starts to go, we'll get a blocking foul. UConn coaching staff thought there should have been a travel. Instead, the first foul of the evening.
Well, Sue Bird reached down to help out there, and she's shocked that the foul was called on her. Gino's even surprised.
Tania Brown inbounds beneath the Wake basket to LaChina Robinson. Back to Bianca Brown. Around the pick comes Tania. Wants to go inside to Robinson. Instead throws up a wild 3. She missed all 4 of them in Saturday's loss at UAB. Down low, Asia Jones with that sweet position. And the rebound is pulled down by Tiffany Listenby. Bianca Brown stolen by Tamika and taken right back. Great hustle by Listenby. Hill, left side jumper. So it took Wake 2 minutes and 54 seconds to finally get on the board. Bird, left side 3. Got it. The 146th 3 of her career. She's 5th on the all-time UConn list.
Now, Tania Brown was on Sue Bird, and again, it's just scouting. You can't leave Bird wide open.
Taurasi, great look inside the cast.
That was a sick pass.
It's been all UConn in the early going. A 15-2 lead. Up the left sideline, it's Hill. Left side jumper. She really didn't even get her feet set on that one.
Well, it was a good catch. She just rushed that shot.
2-on-1 with Taurasi to the trailer, Jones, who will get to the line.
Now that's a situation where Diana Taurasi should have taken that ball up instead of trying to make that extra pass. That's one pass too many. Take it up there. You're throwing back to Asia Jones, who's got 2 defenders on her.
So to the free throw line will go Jones, who equaled her season high with 17 points in the win over Rhode Island on Saturday. And as we mentioned, that put her over the 1,000 career mark. So UConn right now has the 18th, 19th, and 20th leading scorers in UConn history. And I hate to say this, Meg, we go through this every year. But pretty soon they're all going to be playing leapfrog ahead of you.
Yeah, I'll just keep going further and further down that list.
Your name will be appearing in the game notes very soon and very often.
That's because Anne-Marie Person will do that just to make even more fun of me.
That foul, by the way, was on Bianca Brown, her first of the night. So UConn with a 15-point lead, and we haven't even played 4 minutes. Second game of the year for the Huskies against the team from the ACC. They beat North Carolina in the preseason WNIT. Jones with the steal, 3-on-1. And that time the spacing not exactly ideal on the break.
Well, I don't think Asia Jones knew that Swin Cass was running behind her. And I think that's who Sue Bird intended on getting that ball to. Swin was on the outside, and the pass was good to her.
Wake has already turned the ball over 5 times. Hill checking into the lineup for the first time is Adele Harris at the point guard spot. Also in for the first time, Meredith Bell, and here's another steal. This time Bird will take it all the way in herself. And Charlene Curtis can't wait any longer. Another timeout, her second. 15:38 remaining, and it's 17-2 UConn, and this is a clinic with the full court pressure.
Well, the defense and the intensity and the pressure, it's been incredible thus far, and there, just an errant pass. You know, you always want to throw it to the outside hand of your teammate. You don't want to throw it on the inside where the defense is, and there, Bird did a terrific job of just stepping in the passing lane and then was off to the races.
All 5 Husky starters have scored, and UConn shooting 7 of 8 from the floor in the early going. Wake has turned it over 6 times. And you have to wonder as we get deeper into this game, at some point, Gino Auriemma, I imagine, would call off that press. It's way too early to do it now, but...
And that's the problem, because, and this is what's happened through the years, particularly in Big East games, you know, they end up sitting their starters a lot because you don't want to embarrass the other teams. But you also need to be able to work on things that you need to work on, your press, whether it's your half-court defense in a zone set. Here they got a little tandem 1-1-3 that will probably even out to a 2-3 depending on how they want to run it.
Harris, right side Robinson, back to Harris. Hill at the foul line, throws up the runner. Afton Hill had 17 points in the loss to Alabama Birmingham on Saturday.
Well, she was the biggest surprise last year for Wake Forest with the way she came in and scored.
Asia Jones hits the wide open jumper. And Gino Auriemma will go to his bench for the first time, bringing in Ashley Battle at the next stoppage.
Who actually just seems to be getting better and better, more confidence every day.
Huskies with 8 points off the fast break already. Air ball by LaChina Robinson. And that will bring us to our first official timeout of the evening. The Huskies out to a 17-point lead over Wake. Huskies faithful for making the trip.
Well, they're liking what they're seeing early here. Terrific pressure. Look at the anticipation by Swin Cash, looking like a wide receiver with those 2 outstretched arms. And then Sue Bird pulls up for the jumper. I don't think that was her initial intention when she pulled up, and then realized that no one was on her. And that's defensively what you've got to do when you are running back after a steal, or a turnover rather. If you're Wake Forest, the first thing you got to do is stop the ball, especially when it's the best point guard in the country with it in her hands.
Well, the Huskies have had great open looks so far tonight. They've made 8 of 9 shots. Out of the media timeout, Ashley Battle has checked in for the Huskies. Taurasi, there's another one of those open looks. She's 3 for 3, all from three-point range.
And she doesn't need much room to knock it down, but there was a mile between her and her defender.
She's now 16 of 29 from three-point land this year. Another steal. Here's Taurasi looking toward the middle. Left side battle. Pull-up jumper. Only the second miss of the night for UConn. Rebound last touch by Robinson. Listenby tried to save it in front of the Wake Forest bench.
Now Ashley Battle, where she ended up taking that shot from, they do a drill every day in practice where they run down the wing and cut in on an angle, so they use the backboard. There she got herself too flat and couldn't use the backboard.
Battle had a career-high 9 points and a career-high 13 rebounds in Saturday's win over Rhode Island. Bird on the left, beats her man off the dribble, finds Taurasi for her 4th three of the night.
And you think she's feeling it or what?
17 three-pointers for Taurasi this year. Taurasi already has as many threes in the first half tonight, in the first 6.5 minutes, as the leading three-point shooter on Wake Forest team does for the year.
Wow.
Tania Brown. Pull up by Adele Harris, no good. Rebound is pulled down by Asia Jones. Here's Bird. It's a 3-on-1. And Battle with the finish.
Well, it's all starting on the defensive end of the floor. Great finish that time by Battle, set up nicely by Sue Bird.
Almost looks like the floor is tilted.
It's just the defensive intensity and the way that UConn is playing defense is just very impressive early.
Left side, Meredith Bell for 3. Rebound Cash, who was shoved. Second foul of the night on Wake. This one will be called on Listenby, who was quoted in the Wake Forest media guide when asked the question, who's the best player you ever faced? Her answer, Swin Cash.
Well, it's easy to see why, and you know, she played against last year a different Swin Cash than what we've seen earlier. Swin has been,
she was pretty good last year.
Yeah, she's pretty good, and yet she's been as dominant a player in the country. I think Swin is playing she's, if not one of the best forward in the country right now.
Oh, right on cue. Boy, you do know your basketball.
I'm just real lucky with timing. But look, she cuts hard, big target, faces up. Hill takes away one thing and then does a good job by getting past Hill in the air to get a clean look at the basket while getting bumped.
Cash unable to complete the three-point play. The one sort of sour note for the Huskies in the early going this year, only 63% shooting from the foul line as a team in the first 5 games.
Yeah, and that just can't happen.
Tania Brown. Hill to Adele Harris. Shot clock inside 10. Harris gets the high screen from Listenby, then shoots from behind it. Rebound pulled down inside by Alston. Back out to Harris for the left side jumper. Harris, a senior from nearby High Point, North Carolina, not far from the Wake Forest campus. Down low, Cash gets that sweet position. Wants to go on Hill, and does with the left hand.
Impressively, with that play, Swin Cash decided at the last minute to use the left hand.
On the left, it's Tania Brown, blocked by Taurasi, who, believe it or not, is tied for the Big East lead in blocked shots early in the season. That was her 8th of the year. Swin Cash and the Huskies have it all going tonight. Cash 3 for 3 from the floor, 2 rebounds. Her team leads it by a bunch. It adds up to a 27-point lead. And look at the acrobatic.
You have got to be kidding.
My goodness, Bird with an unbelievably athletic play to knock it away, keep it alive, and had the presence of mind to direct it to a teammate. All from the seat of her pants.
There's a reason why.
Another turnover for Wake.
There's a reason why she's the best point guard in the country.
2-time winner of the Nancy Lieberman Klein Award as the outstanding point guard in the country. She turned the ball over, by the way, 4 times of the day against Rhode Island. Very unusual. Making up for it today, huh?
Yeah, Sue didn't have the best game of her career against Rhode Island.
Bird off the give and go from Moore. Left side battle. Misses the shot. Rebound. Inside. Cad goes right back up and draws the foul. Take a look at this play by the preseason Big East Player of the Year from Syosset, Long Island.
Now, you'd never know the team is up 35-6. Just tremendous hustle and knowing what's going on, where your teammates are. Terrific hustle by Susie.
Foul was on Listenby, her second, 4 on the team, and at the free throw line will go Cash. And entering into the lineup, Maria Conlon. She got the start, her first career start Saturday, with Tamika Williams sitting it out as a precautionary measure, just to try to minimize the chances of that thoracic outlet syndrome from flaring up. A condition that can cause some numbness and pain in her left arm. Morgan Valley checks in, replacing Cash, who sits down with 8 points and 3 rebounds in the early going. Wake Forest opened the season with home court wins over Appalachian State and Radford. Radford is Charlene Curtis's alma mater, and Charlene's first head coaching job is at her alma mater. Left side, Harris, defended by Bird, and shoots over it. Great box out by Moore for the rebound. Valley, left side, Conlon. Up high battle, down low Moore, but it's knocked away and stolen by LaChina Robinson.
Now, it might have been open, but that dribble battle killed her.
Pull up 3 by Tania Brown. Rebound on a hot Conlon. Bird on the left battle, goes baseline, and will be called for the charge.
Good job defensively that time by Austin to step in. Battle a little bit out of control.
First foul on Ashley, and number 2 on the team. Tania Brown will sit down, and back in the lineup for Wake Forest is Meredith Bell. Wake 2-0 at home. First loss of the season came Saturday night down at Alabama Birmingham. That 2-0 start, their best in 8 years, by the way.
Well, their motto coming in is stepping it up, and all the Wake Forest players worked extremely hard in the offseason, and they are a better team than a year ago. I think the Huskies are just playing on a different level right now.
Pass out is knocked away by Bird, and last touch by Bianca Brown. Another turnover for Wake, number 10.
But, you know, Charlene Curtis is one of those coaches who wants to play the best. She feels that last year's game against the Huskies did help her team, and I think this will too.
This is the first of 7 games against nationally ranked opponent, at least as the top 25 is constituted right now. The other 6 would be against ACC rivals home and home with Duke, Maryland, and North Carolina State. Valley, right side, Conlon. Taurasi, great look inside to Moore, but she doesn't finish. Bianca Brown looking to start something. UConn getting back quickly. Cross court nearly stolen by Tamika Williams. Bell misses the 3. Rebound off the hand of Moore and comes to Conlon. Fast break opportunity isn't there this trip down the floor. Instead, Taurasi finds Williams inside.
Once again, Tamika Williams in her favorite position, right under the hoop, and a bullet from Taurasi.
If you look closely at Gampy, you'll actually see her footprints there.
She's worn out a couple of those spots.
3 assists for Taurasi in the first 11+ minutes. Alston defended by Morgan Valley. It's UConn by 33. Bianca Brown leaves for Hill. Afton Hill, a 6'1" sophomore from Boone, North Carolina, was invited to the U.S. Junior National Team trials over the summer. Team, of course, coached by Gino Oriema. Taurasi. Valley inside Moore, wants to go on Hill and shoots over. Rebound off the hands of Robinson into the hands of her teammate Alston. Quickly to Bell. Rebound Robinson. lost it off her hand. Last touch by Moore of UConn.
How about Bell's quick first step turning that corner there?
Couple of substitutions for Wake Forest. Aaron Farrell and Val Klopfer check in. Klopfer was the starting point guard a year ago when these two teams played. Thus far this year, in first 3 games, she's only played 10 minutes and hasn't scored. Great look inside off the inbound to Farrell, and Conlon fouls her from behind. Number 1 on Maria Conlon, and the 3rd team foul on UConn.
Good execution. Conlon got beat. Nice execution that time by Wake Forest.
Jean Auriemma and Charlene Curtis were fellow assistants under Debbie Ryan at Virginia for 2 seasons, 1981 through 83, and then Charlene later on assumed the awesome task of filling the huge shoes vacated by my colleague Megan when she left the UConn coaching staff following the 95 season.
As long as you didn't say huge shorts.
Well, I was going to get to that. My partner playing hurt tonight, by the way, and I'm impressed. Very bad cold.
I actually sound like a 13-year-old boy in puberty.
I'm not going to go there. Tarazi, cross-court Valley. Look inside to Jones. Tough catch.
Good patience that time on offense.
So UConn has reached the 40-point mark, 41 points, and we still have 7.5 minutes to go in the half. Klopfer defended by Tarazi in that portion of the zone. Look inside to Farrell. The up and under move draws the foul on Tamika Williams, number 1 on her and 4 on UConn. Speaking of this UConn team and Charlene Curtis, she said, I think this team is as good as any team they've had. Their inside game is better than ever.
And so much of that is because of experience, and particularly Asia Jones, Swin Cash, and Tamika Williams playing together, knowing each other as well as they do. And just a maturity about them that, you know, they weren't happy with the way the season ended last year, and they want to go out on a winning note.
Aaron Farrell was coached in high school by her dad, Wayne, in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Makes the free throws, bringing us to a timeout. Asia Jones, after 17 Saturday against Rhode Island, 6 points on 2 of 3 shooting in the early going tonight. It's UConn by 30. 13 minutes of basketball thus far this season. Huskies leading it by 30 over the Demon Deacons. Look at Letitia Pearson. She's from Birmingham, Alabama, and her family, God bless her mom, hosted the whole Wake Forest basketball team for Thanksgiving dinner last Thursday. The team flew down to Birmingham a couple days early for their game Saturday night at UAB and spent the whole Thanksgiving Day dinner at the Pearsons' house. Nice look inside to Tamika Williams. Huskies now 17 of 22 from the floor. I wonder who had to do the dishes after that. The tail.
Freshman.
It was quite a thrill, needless to say, for Letitia to play a game with her Wake teammates in her hometown on Saturday night. Certainly would have preferred the results to be different.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of coaches do that. They'll schedule games, you know, near different players' hometowns.
Bell misses the shot, rebound Tarazi. Of course, UConn played Villanova all that time when you were in college. That was the reason why, right?
Oh, absolutely. It had nothing to do with the Big
fact that they were in
East.
the same conference.
Well, we spent a lot of meals at my parents' house.
The Huskies will be spending their New Year's Eve afternoon in Dayton, Ohio, playing Wright State, because that's the hometown of Tamika Williams. Foul away from the play on the Huskies on setting the screen. I think it's going to be Asia Jones.
Well, you know, I saw Asia's face earlier in that possession, and she was getting ticked off, and she kept getting held and pushed, and this is a good example of it's usually the second guy who gets called for it, because she was getting pushed, and then she finally went to set a screen and reestablish her position, and she got caught.
Now, is that look directed at Asia
losing?
Jones or at the official Joe Cunningham?
It can't be at the score.
Well, at least we don't think. He claims he doesn't look at the score that often. Right side pull-up, Bell, no good. Long rebound, Klopfer. And a fresh shot clock for the Demon Deacons. Klopfer defended by Bird. Matchups of a couple of uniform number 10s. Inside the 6-minute mark. Left side, Tania Brown throws up the three. No good. Rebound. One hand for Tamika Williams. She's the second leading rebounder on the Huskies team this year. And 7th in the Big East. Cross court deflected by Farrell, but Ashley Valley picks it up. There's Sister Morgan down low. Mighty early for Ashley Valley to be in a ball game. Jones pull up in the lane. She's 3 of 4 from the floor. Klopfer, senior out of Albany, New York. High post, Jones with the step in, and then will be called for the travel. Right idea, but unable to get it to a guard before she tried to put it on the floor, which isn't always the most successful venture in the open court for a post player.
Well, if she had knocked it down with one hand, I think she would have had a better chance. She tried to catch it and then put it down, and her feet, you can look at it this way, her feet were just too quick.
Anyone ever accuse you of that? Ever say, Patterson, your feet are too quick?
I certainly don't remember that.
Wake having trouble inbounding, so they call another timeout with 4:52 to go in the half. Charlene Curtis played at Radford College, then coached at her alma mater for 6 years. Went 121-53, went to the WNIT once. They won 3 Big South Conference tournaments, 4 Big South regular season titles, and twice she was named the Big South Coach of the Year. Then she went on to be the head coach at Temple for 5 years. Not nearly as successful there, 41-97. And then it was on to the UConn staff for 2 years as an assistant. And then here at Wake, and she's in her 5th year at Wake. So she and Gino Auriemma worked together for 4 years in 2 different locations. 2 years as fellow assistants, and then 2 years under head coach Gino Auriemma. Following the Wake timeout, it's Klopfer. UConn leads at 45-11 inside the 5-minute mark. The Huskies starting the season 5-0, ranked number 1 in the country. Ranked in the top 25 for the 153rd consecutive week. Hill to Klopfer. Shot clock inside 10. Harris defended by Battle. Goes around the screen by Farrell. Tried to shoot over Jones, but that didn't work at all. Up the court, it's Bird. 2-on-2. Pull up. And the rebound batted out of bounds. Last touched, I believe, by Ashley Valley.
She came out of there like she was shot out of a cannon. I couldn't tell. She knocked one of the Wake players down. I couldn't tell who it was.
Wake will play at Western Carolina next. That'll be on Thursday night before their ACC opener a week from Wednesday, December 5th at North Carolina. Jones is called for the hold in the post. That will be her 2nd foul, and number 6 on the Huskies. And Harris will inbound beneath the Wake basket. Klopfer leaves, replaced by Alston. Adele Harris leaves and is replaced by Tania Brown. Tania Brown in the early going 0 for 4 from the floor after a 3 for 13 shooting night Saturday night. Left side, Hill. Harris. Alston looking inside. High post, it's Farrell. Shot clock at 10. Alston leads for Tania Brown. Look at the defense by Battle. Then Hill with the turnaround. Rebound in traffic, Moore. Here's Bird. She has Ashley Valley to her left and then threw it behind her. Valley recovers. Moore, foul line jumper. Rebound, Farrell.
That would be great if Jessica Moore can implement into her game a 15, 17-foot jumper.
Had a 13-point scoring game earlier this season against Florida International, only her 2nd collegiate game. Tania Brown gives to Harris, who will reset the offense. The shot clock running down again. Tried to throw it up over Cash and does. Just like she diagrammed it.
Yeah.
The open floor of Valley, down low Cash. Looked like she might have gotten bumped. Instead, she lays it in.
How about that? I don't know how the ball got in there. There were 4 yellow jerseys around Swin, yet she found a way to get it to go down.
Cash was shooting 60% from the floor entering tonight. She's 4 for 4 tonight. Alston left side. Rebound. Moore and Cash both battle, and they lose it out of bounds. Substitution Wake and an official timeout. 2:26 remaining first half, and Gino Auriemma's club on a roll. Wake Forest inbound beneath its basket, and they go into Hill, and the Huskies got beat on the inbound play for the second time tonight. Quickly the other way, it's Ashley Battle. Up top, Bird. Moore looks on inside for Cash. Kick out Ashley Valley, and a 3-second call on the Huskies. UConn in the early going, first 5 games of the year, 7th in the 14-team Big East in turnover ratio. The Huskies are first in the conference in scoring defense, field goal shooting, field goal defense, 3-point shooting, and rebound. Bell leaves for Farrell, nearly taken away by Ashley Valley, who hurt her right shoulder. Holding it.
That doesn't look good.
Some deal of discomfort.
Whenever I see that, you know, I go back to the 2 shoulder dislocations I've had on both of my arms, and it's exactly a type of play you can do it on.
Off the inbound, Hill, wild shot with Cash's hand in her face. Bird. Leaves for Battle, down low baseline, Ashley Valley, and she's fouled. And we'll get to the free throw line. Valley seeing a lot of action early in the ball game. Ashley Valley, that is.
And again, gets fouled really hard on the right arm. The same arm the previous defensive possession she grabbed. You can see her shake it out a little bit there. You hope she's all right.
Foul on Harris, her first and 5 on the team. Ashley Valley last year missed most of her senior year in high school with a torn ACL. From Rice Memorial High School in Burlington, Vermont, where her sister and now UConn teammate Morgan is who enters the game, by the way, is the all-time leading scorer at Rice Memorial. Some great teams they played on. 2 undefeated state championship teams. The ball is Harris. Up high is Robinson, left side Harris. The defensive intensity for UConn has been most impressive in the first 18 minutes. Harris over Valley, rebound Bird.
Bird wisely went for it, knowing that it got tipped by Valley.
Valley drives, feeds Moore, loses the handle out of bounds.
And not happy with herself, got herself up into the air with not a whole lot to do with it.
What do you make of her getting this much playing time in the first half?
Probably the fact that the score is 49-15. And then this is when you've got to get your younger players gain experience. It can't just be the garbage time at the end of the game. It's got to be in there with Sue Bird and Swin Cash and some of those other guys.
She's had more minutes in the first half than Maria Conlon tonight. So a little different than the normal rotation we're used to.
And sometimes you just have to give different players a look with different groups.
Shot clock winding down again on the right. Bell, long three. Rebound, far side of the lane to Alston. Kick out Hill. Hill's awfully quick with that trigger tonight.
Well, the last thing you want to do when you're losing is to try to get it back all in one shot. And quick 3-point attempts are not going to help you.
Foul on Alston, her first 6 on the team.
Charlene Curtis just said we got to get a better shot. Exactly, but the easy thing to do is launch one up there. But remember, when you shoot a long-range shot, the rebound comes longer, and that allows UConn to get into their fast-break offense quicker.
Cash, right side Bird. Valley, top of the circle, throws up the 3. Rebound comes out to Alston, and Wake with a 3-on-3. They haven't had much in transition tonight. Bell with the right side 3.
That's what you do. You spot up, get yourself ready.
Meredith Bell, a freshman from Waldorf, Maryland. First 3 of the night for the Demon Deacons, and a hold
Got you right here. Go on the box.
will be called on Alston. That's her second. Wake now over the limit, so the Huskies will go to the line to shoot the 1-on-1. Charlene Curtis said, "I'm pleased with our overall effort. We are playing more aggressive defensively, but we are fouling way too much." That in the conversation I had with her on Friday. She was calling me, Megan, from the Civil Rights Museum in Birmingham, Alabama. Educational trip for her team. Nice to see teams take advantage of opportunities when they're on the road to see things that they ordinarily could not see. And what a great opportunity for the Wake Forest team to see that museum.
Yeah, Charlene is great with that. Last year they had a tour of ESPN while they were up playing UConn.
Took in a show in Manhattan. Doubt she's too pleased with the show so far tonight, though. Her club is in trouble. We're halfway home, and UConn leads Wake 50-18. It's 50-18 at halftime. Let's go over to my colleague Megan Pattison, who's standing by with UConn Associate Head Coach Chris Daly.
Bob, thank you very much. Now, CD, I know I was thinking this before. With a score of 15-18 and the team played exceptionally well, what do you say to them at halftime?
Much shorter conversation than last game, I would think, but we came out the way we wanted to. We set the tone early and we played very well, shot the ball extremely well.
Okay, so what do you want to work on here in the second half? Might we see some different rotations with different players in there?
Well, I think so, but I think we'll work some zones, some of our other man-to-man defense, and then we're just going to try to work offensively to score in a half-court set. We don't have to press, we don't have to run. We want to be able to score in the half-court and see, get different people, different looks.
All right, thank you very much. Good luck. Bob.
All right, Megan, thank you very much. And let us take a look at some first half highlights. And it was all UConn right from the get-go. The Huskies scored the first 10 points of the game. Diana Taurasi, 4 shots in the first half, all of them three-pointers, and she made all of them. This time, down low, Swin Cash, who was also 4 for 4 from the floor, had 10 points in the first half. Play of the half. Look at the acrobatic effort by Sue Bird to not only steal it, but direct it to teammate Ashley Battle for the finish. And Asia Jones, 3 of 4 from the floor, 8 points in 11 minutes in the first half. It all adds up to a 32-point lead for the Huskies at intermission. UConn shooting a stunning 70% from the floor to only 23% for Wake Forest. And Megan, Wake, of course, didn't do a whole lot right, needless to say, in the first 20 minutes. But you look, 30 total shots for the Demon Deacons, and nearly half of them from three-point range, and they only made one of them.
Well, a lot of them were rushed, and again, we talked about this a little bit off the top, that when you're down, especially by a lot, you don't want to just be jacking up threes. Work your offense, and you're not going to get it back all in one possession or one shot.
Diana Taurasi, 4 for 4 from the floor, all three-pointers, 12 points, 4 assists in only 13 minutes in the first half. So Wake Forest gets the ball to start the second half. It looks like the Huskies will come out in a 2-3 zone. Tania Brown, Wake going with the same 5 that they started the game with. The 2 Browns, Hill, Robinson, and Listenby, and they began the second half the way they began the first, with a turnover. Wake turned the ball over 11 times in the first half, nearly all of them in the first 6 or 7 minutes. Bird will walk it across, defended by Bianca Brown. Up top, Tamika Williams. Wanted to go backdoor to Bird. They got mixed up on their signals, and Bird stopped, and Williams threw the lead pass, and there was no one home.
Now, the difficult thing, especially if you're Connecticut, is to come out here and try to maintain that level of intensity that they had the first 20 minutes.
Tania Brown continues to struggle. Now 0 for 5 from the floor, all but 1 from three-point range. Pass inside, deflected out of bounds by Listenby. So it will be UConn ball. Taurasi to inbound. Finds Bird. Jones, right side, Taurasi. Sweet position inside the catch. The handoff to Tamika Williams.
Well, that's what makes them so good. Swin Cash certainly demands double team attention, but has the presence of mind to get rid of it to the wide open Tamika Williams.
3 of UConn's 5 starters haven't missed a shot tonight. Collectively, they're all 4 for 4. Taurasi, Cash, and Williams.
And Taurasi has how many threes?
All 4.
All 4 of them. So it sounds like she's shooting 2-foot bunnies.
Jones will give the ball to Taurasi, has Bird on the left and finds her. Wide open 3. Rebound weak side. Cash goes right back up. She's 5 for 5 and is now in double figures for the 6th time in 6 games this year and the 61st time in her career. First UConn player, or second UConn player to get into double figures tonight, joining Taurasi with a dozen points. Tania Brown, shot clock at 10.
And you can hear Swin Cash talking in the back line of that zone defense.
And Asia Jones at the back line intercepts the pass. Lead pass, Taurasi to Bird, who's hammered. But Tania Brown, actually smart play by Tania Brown. Didn't give her the layup, but then fouled her and then tried to break her fall.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a smart thing to do.
So to the free throw line will go Bird. And Sue Bird is yet to miss. A perfect 14 for 14 from the line. LaChina Robinson, we talked about her line against Radford, 15 points, 20 rebounds. This is her line tonight. Ouch.
Well, the Huskies knew coming in that Robinson was a big target inside at 6'4", had been playing well. Worked really hard on her strength and conditioning in the offseason and worked on getting her right hand stronger.
Works every time.
And you did just jinx Sue Bird, by the way. She's now 14 for 15, Bob.
She also, by the way, because Taurasi missed a couple of free throws the other night, Bird replaced Taurasi as the all-time leading free throw shooter percentage-wise in UConn history. And by missing one, she'll no doubt fall down. Amy Duran's right in there, too. But Amy isn't going to miss any tonight.
There's a pretty good chance of that.
Klopfer, top of the key. Robinson, turn around the high post, had a good look. Rebound inside Listenby, and the shot was blocked on the way up by Tamika Williams. Taurasi gives to Cash. Klopfer back in the lineup for Wake. Look at Tamika Williams putting the ball on the floor, but she can't finish the move. And then she collides with Listenby and will be called for the foul.
And Tamika was there, but she was trying to get herself out of the way.
Second foul on Tamika, 1 on.
You got to finish that with the left hand, and there. The innocent look on the face, anyway.
Huskies in the 2-3 zone. Inside position for Listenby.
Nice entry pass, too. Nice bounce pass away from the defense.
So Wake didn't score for the first 2:04 in the first half, and a longer drought here in the second. Nearly went 3 minutes without scoring. Jones to Cash. UConn lead is 35. The shot clock at 10 for the Huskies. Taurasi gets the high pick and the roll to Tamika Williams.
Oh, wow.
Look at the pass inside. Jones misses. Cash with the rebound. She gets fouled.
That was too bad that didn't go in, that first shot, because it was such a beautiful exchange. First from Taurasi to Williams on the nice pick and roll. See, when the shot clock expires or is getting down there, you want to set a pick and roll. The great pass from Williams to Jones, who just couldn't finish, but who else there? Ripping down the offensive rebound, but Swin Cash.
Rebound number 6 for the 6'2 senior from the Keysport, Pennsylvania, who a week ago today was named the co-player of the week in the Big East. One day after being named the most valuable player of the preseason WNIT. Meredith Bell returns to the lineup for Wake Forest, freshman from Waldorf, Maryland. This is what Cass has done tonight. One of 4 Huskies who are preseason nominees for the Naismith National Player of the Year Award. All 4 seniors. Or 3 of the 4 seniors plus Taurasi, I should say.
Well, Swin has been making a name for herself early this season with outstanding play thus far in all of the games.
And nearly came up with the steal. Flex it into the Wake Forest bench. into the lap of Joanna Bjorklund, who speaks 3 languages. So she's not beaten
English,
by 2.
Swedish, yeah.
And French.
French, and then she understands a couple others. I can barely understand English.
Tania Brown finally hits her first shot of the night. She had missed her first 5 shots. Counted in the foul. So the Huskies come right back with the long pass.
Well, the one thing you have to do, and that's one thing that Asia Jones, I mean, she not only does she have terrific footwork, she has outstanding hands, great concentration to catch that ball on the run. And against the Huskies, if you score, you can't get caught up celebrating because they're going to ram it down your throats.
Foul on Listenby, her 3rd. So Jones with 11 points. She's in double figures for the 3rd time this year and the 55th time in her career. They're all seniors. They're all 6'2", and their career numbers in some areas have amazing resemblances. Bird, right side, and hitting the shot is Jones. Asia Jones 5 of 7 from the floor.
And like Chris Daly said at halftime, I think what we're going to see is the Huskies, you know, will stop pushing the ball. They already have, but you know, the transition buckets will slow down. Let's run half-court offense is what I know Gino and Chris want them to do.
Well, the full-court press was removed a long time ago.
Yeah, and they've been playing zone for a while.
Right side Tarazi, defended by Klopfer, who's giving away just a few inches in that matchup. Shot clock inside 10. Bird with the crossover dribble to beat Bell. Misses the shot. Rebound catch. Uh-oh. She missed the shot.
And she's mad at herself. She worked so hard for the rebound. You heard her screaming as she went up there to track it down.
It was her 9th rebound. So Tamika Williams becomes the 4th Husky in double figures. 8-0 UConn run. Rebound Tarazi, pass a little behind Bird, deflects it to herself, and hits the pull-up. So Bird now with 10 points, and so now all 5 starters have reached double figures. 3 of them have done it in the last 2 minutes. It's like a contest. Listenby with a nice move in the lane, and at the next stoppage of play,
you'll see a mass substitution.
It will be official. We will see wholesale substitution. There are 5 blue shirts and 1, I guess, what would you call that, gold?
Yeah, I called it yellow before for lack of a more clever thought.
Tarazi with the shot. I mean, it was ridiculous. UConn is now 26 of 39. UConn is now 27 of 40 from the floor with the Bird shot.
I think Sue is just not happy with her performance against Rhode Island, and she came out here tonight and made a very different statement.
Well, all 5 starters will leave, and we'll get a new unit for the Huskies when we come back. They lead it by 45. An effort that the #1 team in the country has composed tonight. Their starting 5 has this, Megan. 25 of 32 from the floor, 63 points for the 5 starters.
And you know what the coach will say, well, you've just raised the bar, so you've got to shoot like that every game.
Ashley Valley to older sister Morgan. Look at the ball movement on this possession by the second 5. Conlon. Shot clock at 10. Gets the high screen from Morgan Valley. Comes around it. Gives to Moore for 3.
Oh.
So it'll go back to Wake. Gino Auriemma won his 430th game on Saturday against Rhode Island. He actually moved up 1 percentage point, his won-loss percentage. That won-loss percentage doesn't move up very rapidly when you're 430 and 98. It's now 81.4%, 3rd best among active coaches. Shot blocked by Moore, taken down by Battle. 7 blocks for the Huskies tonight. They also had 7 blocks on Saturday against Rhode Island. They're 3rd in the Big East in block shots. 7 minutes gone, second half. Ashley Valley inbounds to Morgan and gets it back off a Wake foot. Sounds like a serve, doesn't it? Wake foot. He's suffering from a Wake foot. Right side, Ashley Valley. Down low to Ashley Battle. Huskies now with 18 assists on 28 field goals tonight. Foul line, Listenby. Rebound Battle. Her 4th of the night. She's already got 5 rebounds off the bench. Go with her 6 points. Well, a mix-up on the communications there between Ashley Valley, and Ashley Battle. Look at that.
Interesting look.
Write your own caption.
Yeah, well, what you're missing is what he said before was, "Hey!" That was it.
Do you like his line about whether Tamika Williams would be playing? What is that about? I don't have my medical certificate.
So yeah, I don't think the medical staff is going to listen to what I have to say.
Until I produce one, it'll be up to the trainer. Rosemary Regal gave the green light to Tamika Williams, and she's in the lineup.
Well, you know, Gino and the players have complete faith in Rosemary Regal. She's a great trainer, more than qualified, and she's certainly had herself tested over the last couple of years with the injuries on this team.
Huskies lead it 72-25. Morgan Valley, wide open 3. Rebound in the lane is pulled down by Alston. Sophomore out of Raleigh. Alston down low, Hill shoots over Moore. Afton Hill had 11 points in Wake's loss at UConn last year. First points in a 4-minute stretch for Wake Forest. Moore puts it on the floor, and Hill will be called for the reach-in foul. That'll be the 3rd team foul on Wake here in the second half, and Val Klopfer re-enters. Demon Deacons last year won 11 games. It's the most they've had in 4 years. Timeout, 11:11 remaining.
Hi, this is Danielle, and I would like to ask Megan and Bob how the Huskies handle all their homework on the road.
Well, how about if we ask the only one of us who's a former Husky player?
I might be the wrong one to ask, though. Actually, you know what? These players are exceptional in the way they do their work, but they do have Bruce Cohen, who is the academic advisor for the team. He runs the counseling program for intercollegiate athletes, and I know he's somewhere in the building.
Yeah, I saw him myself before the game.
Yeah, he's actually sitting right behind the team bench.
Yep, sure is.
There's Bruce, and he hates getting on camera. He's very shy, but he's terrific. He keeps track of all of the kids and what they're doing. They have study hall on the road. He's in constant contact with their professors, as are they. And they understand that that's really important.
I don't know what Klopfer had in mind there. That was, if she made it, it should have been worth 5 or 6 points.
Maybe she's trying to impress some of her friends. You know, Klopfer has worked Gino's camp, his summer basketball camp, 2 of the last 3 years.
Really?
Yeah, so maybe she just wants to impress her friends.
Kind of a short putt from her home in Albany. Ashley Valley, shot clock inside 10. Spin move. Beats Sister Morgan on the roll, and she is absolutely drilled from behind.
Yeah, she got pummeled from a couple different sides. A nice pick and roll. Got it from the back, the front.
So Morgan Valley will go to the free throw line. The Huskies entering the ball game with all 5 starters averaging double figures through the first 5 games, and all 5, as we mentioned, scored 63 points tonight. They might be done for the evening.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance of that. Although 10 minutes is a long time.
Well, this 5 might get tired. And there's only one other player to put in. That would be Stacey Marin. Only 11 players on this Huskies team. Conlon to Ashley Valley. High post Moore, hands off to Ashley. She goes, and she is fouled from behind, I believe, by Hill. And she will go to the line. This is UConn senior class, and we mentioned 3 of them already. Tamika Williams, Swin Cash, Asia Jones have already scored 1,000 points. It's the first class in UConn history to be ranked #1 in the country in each of their 4 years. Despite all of the success this program has had, 13 straight trips to the NCAA tournament, 9 Sweet 16s, 8 Final 8s, 5 Final 4s, and 2 championships. No other class can make that claim to be ranked #1 in the country at some point in each of their 4 years.
And I'm sure if you asked any of them, the only #1 that's going to matter is the one this spring.
San Antonio, right?
That's right.
Final 4 is this year.
Yeah.
Cross court, Alston gives to Bell. Bell will throw up the long 3. Long rebound. And a reach-in foul will be called on Ashley Battle. UConn has won 54 of its last 57 and 73 of its last 77 games. They will be adding to that total tonight. 9.5 remaining, up 75-27.
Those are some staggering numbers. And
Meredith Bell, their second 3 of the evening, third 3 of the evening. Got 9 points, all from behind the arc.
She only had 2 threes coming into the game.
Wake as a team entering the ball game shooting only 23.9% from three-point range, and they're only 3 for 19 tonight. And Bell has all 3 of them. Ashley Valley with the miss. Rebound last touch by, looks like, Wake. So UConn will inbound with a fresh shot clock. Valley, Ashley Valley gives to Moore. So UConn has 2 Valleys, and Wake Forest has 2 Browns. Rebound Morgan Valley. Conlon for 3. Rebound on a hop to Morgan Valley, but I think who's going to get called? Is it Klopfer or Morgan Valley? One of them. It'll be Klopfer. For Wake getting whistled for the foul. A year ago, Klopfer started against UConn, played 18 minutes, didn't score and turned the ball over 6 times.
Well, yeah, and she lost her starting job the last 4 games of last season, and then has struggled to get playing time. And one thing that she does bring into the game is a sense of calm, which I think is why she's out there a lot this evening.
Well, she's really slipped to 3rd on the depth chart at point guard, behind the starter Bianca Brown and senior Adele Harris. So Morgan Valley hits from the foul line, and the lead is up to 47. Next up for UConn, Friday night at Gamble Pavilion against Ball State for the Mid-America Conference. We'll have it for you 7:30 here on Connecticut Public Television. Farrell with the miss, rebound in traffic, eventually comes to Ashley Valley and finds Conlon and hits her in stride. Counted in the foul.
Has a great lead pass from Valley.
Foul on Farrell, who nearly took out Pat the cameraman.
Uh-oh.
But he hung in there. Coming right at him.
Hello.
Hope he had his tetanus shot.
But look, stays in the
There he
shot.
is.
God bless you.
Wave, Pat. There you go.
Good job.
He waved with his left hand because his right arm is numb.
You better check with Rosemary to see if that same thing Tamika's got.
So Conlon with the 3-point play, but the real play was made by Ashley Valley with the pretty pass. Left side, Klopfer. That'll be a 2. And those are her first points of the season in game number 4. Honorable mention All-American in high school at Bishop McGinn in Albany. This is Wake's 4th game in 8 nights. They begin the season with 4 games in 8 nights. UConn will hit a busy stretch coming up with Ball State next Friday. Then Gino Auriemma's club with their Big East opener a week from tomorrow against St. John's. 2 days later, Holy Cross. So that's 3 games in, I guess, 7 days. And we will have all 3 of them for you. On the inbound, Ashley Valley went for the steal and collides with Klopfer and will be whistled for the foul. Some other numbers to try on you, Megan. In the last 5+ years, meaning that this would be the 6th season, the Huskies are 169-13. That's 92.8%, the most wins of any team in the country during that period.
I don't think people realize how difficult it is to keep winning, because every time, especially in the Big East, every time the team plays you, you know, they get their biggest crowd and they want to knock off the #1 team, and it's very difficult to keep your mental toughness throughout.
We have an official timeout, just under 8 minutes remaining, and UConn on cruise control. Is this as close to Florida as the Huskies get this year? They don't go to Miami this year, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. So
she drove up to
dedicated, and there's a ton of fans
North Carolina to catch this one. What a beautiful day here in North Carolina. You got off the airplane today, and it was 70 degrees.
Yeah, I know it was warm back home in the 60s.
Kick will be called on Wake Forest, so the shot clock recycles with 7:53 remaining. Right side, Morgan Valley. Conlon up top. Up high, Moore. Wake takes away that backdoor play. Conlon kind of fired that one off the back foot.
Yeah, not the optimum shot that they wanted that possession.
Bell misses the shot. Rebound. Morgan Valley tips to herself. Then gives to her younger sister, Ashley. Tamika Williams is checked back in for the Huskies. Left side, Conlon. Long rebound to Aaron Farrell. Wake has 3 starters back from last year's team. 11 players back from the team which went 11-17, but finished 3-13 and last in the ACC.
But last year was the best record they had in 4 years. So they all went and nearly upset Duke in the ACC tournament.
#1 seed Duke.
An eventual champion. So well, they went into this summer really wanting to work hard and step it up.
Foul will be called on Letitia Pearson from behind.
And something I know they wanted to work on, you know, their point guards last year averaged less than 3 points a game, and that's something that has to change.
And it hasn't changed tonight. Bianca Brown, who was scoreless Saturday at UAB, is scoreless again tonight. And her backup, Alston, hasn't scored. And Klopfer has also played some time at the point, has 2 points. So among the 3 of them, only 2 points. And the other starting guard, Tania Brown, has only scored 3 points on 1 of 6 shooting. Down low, it's Farrell. She gives to Pearson. Right side, Alston. Pull up over Morgan Valley and hit. So Alston gets on the board. 5'10" sophomore from Southeast Raleigh High School. Her high school's all-time leading scorer with 1,365 points. The cutter, Moore, hits the shot. Her first points of the evening. So now UConn, all 10 UConn players who have seen action have scored. Tania Brown, wow. Just a little off the target there.
Yeah, sometimes you have those nights where nothing seems to go right for you.
All but one of Tania Brown's 7 shots have come from behind the 3-point line. The other night at UAB, she was 3 of 13 from the floor, 0 for 4 from 3-point range. Ashley Battle gives up her dribble, has it knocked away by Alston. 14 to shoot for the Huskies as they inbound.
And there was good pressure on the ball that time, which is why Battle couldn't find Maria Conlon, who had cut nicely down the lane.
The one thing we have not seen tonight, Megan, on the part of Wake Forest is a lack of hustle. They're playing hard. Over the back foul will be called on Moore.
It's the little victories like that play. Good box out inside by Pearson, causing Moore to come over the back.
Charlene Curtis told me turning the program around has been a slower process than I thought it would be, but this is the most athletic team we've ever had.
And this team is hungry to be successful. And Charlene said they don't just talk about it, they get out there and they're working at it. Worked hard in the offseason.
Bopfer throws up another three. And the ball will be inbounded by Tania Brown, who was coached in high school by her mom, Cynthia, who was a high school teammate of Charlene Curtis. All of them attending William Fleming High School in Roanoke, Virginia. That'll make the recruiting process a little easier, huh? Moore misses the shot. Imagine trying to sell your old high school teammate on the wisdom of sending her daughter to go play for you.
Take whatever you can get in those recruiting wars.
26 of Wake's 36 points have been scored tonight by first or second year players. A wild three from the left by Alston. Didn't hit the rim, so the clock didn't recycle. It's now down to 10. Tania Brown finds Listenby inside. Rebound Conlon with 4.5 to play. Conlon had the open three, instead looked for Morgan Valley inside, and she wasn't quite anticipating it.
Well, the problem is Conlon's a shooter, and she's missed a couple shots tonight, and it gets in your head. So, you know, Valley was turning around ready to rebound because she knows Maria's going to shoot it.
Conlon 1 of 4 from the floor tonight, 0 for 2 from three-point range. The first 5 games she was 44% from three-point range and was second on the team in three-pointers with 8 entering the ballgame. Pass in the post to Listenby deflected by Ashley Battle, then Conlon is fouled, and we will get our first look of the evening at the 11th player on the Huskies team, the walk-on from Albuquerque, New Mexico, Stacey Marin. But first, Maria Conlon will go to the line to shoot a couple. The Connecticut High School Player of the Year 2 years ago at Seymour High School, where she and her teammates enjoyed great success. In 4 years, they went 96-4, and they won 62 in a row.
And a lot of people thought Maria couldn't play at this level, and God bless her. She's proved a lot of people wrong. She works hard, comes from a good family. She gets it. She understands what her role is, but she also understands that, you know, if I work hard, I can do something here.
So that means, counting those 4 years in high school and her college career, which has consisted of 1 year, and this is the 6th game, we're going to give them a win tonight. Can I add a win?
I think you can.
That means she's been on the winning team 134 times and on the losing team 7 times. Now, that doesn't include practice. Probably on the losing team a few times there.
Well, those are the kind of kids you want in your program. You can't. It's much harder to teach kids how to win. You got to have, it really helps. Sue Bird, you know, won a ton of games in high school.
Well, this young lady tonight will be on the winning team for the 119th time in her last 123 games between her last 2 years at Christ the King High School in New York and this her 4th year at UConn.
Yeah, these kids don't realize how good they have it here at UConn, because in the, you know, now that the WNBA exists, they go out and they play, and you know, Svetlana's team didn't make the playoffs last year, and Rebecca's team has had some success, but Rebecca Lobo's had a couple injuries, and it's never the same as it is in college.
Speaking of Svetlana, enjoying her first-handed coaching as a student assistant coach as she's finishing her final semester at UConn, only a couple weeks to go.
Yeah, this is her only road trip of the year. She's going to go play overseas, and then once the WNBA kicks up again, she'll go back to Minnesota and play for the Lynx.
5th leading scorer in UConn history, the only 2-time first-team All-American in the history of the program. And her senior year cut short by the foot injury suffered last year in Knoxville. And that will bring us to our final official timeout of the evening. UConn on its way to win number 6. Bianca Brown, and Huskies will end down. There's Ann Donovan, the coach of the Charlotte Sting, doing some scouting.
They made it to the WNBA Finals this year. An outstanding year.
I would venture to say she's looking at more than one player.
Oh, man.
Ashley Battle will be called for the travel. She dragged that pivot foot.
I mean, the entire senior class will go, I would imagine, at least in the top 5 in the WNBA draft.
Right side Bell, pull up over Ashley Valley. Rebound weak side. Battle fights for it, can't control. And there are 3 members of that senior class, and there's all 4 of them. The law firm of Jones, Williams, Cash, and Bird.
Now, are they an LLC?
Bianca Brown will walk it across as we approach the 3-minute mark. Up high, it's Bjorklund, tallest player in Wake history at 6'5", junior from Stockholm, Sweden. Austin feeds Bjorklund, the spin move for the right hand. Rebound Ashley Valley. Her 3rd of the night. And her sister Morgan sets a very solid screen. And Klopfer, or it's not Klopfer, it's Meredith Bell paying the price. Wow. Nothing illegal or dirty about it. Bell just didn't see it and ran into it.
And there was
Ouch.
no communication from Morgan's player. It was a legal screen, and that was big sister there to help out little, and it was a monster screen.
Golden Valley misses the 3. Her sister Ashley gets the rebound. Jackie Stiles got knocked out first round in NCAA tournament game on one of those last year.
Well, you got to be careful, especially if you get hit from the back and the way you fall, and if you hit your head on the floor.
Next up for the Huskies, David Letterman's alma mater. Ball State, whose men's team garnered so many headlines for what it did this year in Hawaii. In successive days, they beat number 3 Kansas, number 4 UCLA, then played number 1 Duke. We'll have the Ball State game for you 7:30 this Friday night from Gamble Pavilion. Then the Big East opener at St. John's. That'll be next Tuesday, followed by the Holy Cross game.
And don't forget, too, that the Gino Auriemma show will air. The first episode, we'll call it, before the Ball State game.
Who will be asking the questions on that show?
I will be. Hopefully my voice will be a little bit better.
So that'll be Friday night, 7 o'clock?
Yeah, you betcha. And the most exciting half hour on television.
Never get to see them because I'm always stuck at the arena.
Yeah, you're not missing much.
Well, there's a heck of a promo. So we're inside 2 minutes. Huskies this year, Rhode Island scored 38 points on Saturday, and Wake is stuck on 38 right now.
That was an interesting roll that Ashley Battle just got. It plopped on the back of the rim and fell in.
Her first 3 of the season.
She's been working on it, especially today in shoot-around.
So the lead now is even 50 for the Huskies. That was her first career 3-point. Morgan Valley, shot clock at 10. Marin up high, Moore, hands off back to Marin. Throws it up. Rebound in the lane in traffic, and eventually comes away to Bianca Brown with a minute remaining. Bell tried to draw the foul, somehow didn't, and wants to know why not. I think it's a reasonable question.
Yeah, it was a good effort by Bell, knowing that Ashley Valley was off her feet.
One of those conversations where the official Eric Bruton, if you were honest, somebody said, "Where's the foul?" might admit privately, not when it's 88-38 with 45
yeah,
seconds
exactly.
left.
That's when he pretends that he's deaf.
Ashley Valley throws up the three, no good. Rebound pulled down to the lane by Alston. 10 rebounds, by the way, for Alston. So Wake will fall to 2-2 and will hit the road for a non-conference game at Western Carolina next. So an impressive effort off the bench for Tracy Alston, the sophomore from Raleigh, with 10 rebounds and 5 assists. Those 10 rebounds represent a career high. Shot clock off. The Huskies will not throw up another shot in anger or otherwise. So for the second consecutive game, barring a steal here, UConn is going to hold the opposition to 38 points. Final score, UConn 88, Wake Forest 38. UConn beginning its season with 6 consecutive wins. Wake drops to 2-2. Diana Taurasi, one of 5 Huskies in double figures. And we will hear from her and Gina Oriana when we come back. 38. All 5 Husky starters in double figures, including Diana Taurasi with 14. She's standing by along with her coach Gina Oriema with Megan Pattison. Megan?
Bob, thank you very much. And Gina, standing here, you don't look like you just won the game.
Oh, no, I was just thinking of something. I just saw Bobby, guy used to be our soccer coach at UConn. He's the assistant coach here at Wake Forest. No, I was just thinking about we played really well. One of the things we wanted to do was come out real aggressive and come out real strong. And the way we started the game, the first 5 minutes, I think set the tone for the rest of the game. And I thought our starters did an unbelievable job coming out of the locker room.
Now, Diana, you guys look like you were really having a lot of fun out there. Yeah. You shot perfectly from the floor, 5 for 5, and then 4 for 4 from behind the arc. Also had 5 assists. I guess fun would be the key word?
Yeah, I thought we put emphasis on coming out and being with more energy. We came out in the Rhode Island kind of flat, so I think we definitely put an emphasis on that. We did a good job of coming out with a lot of energy and just having fun.
Well, you know, people talk a lot about, you know, the way you shoot from behind the arc, great shooter, but you look like you really enjoy passing the ball and setting up your teammates even more.
Well, when you have great people around you, you know, passing is just as fun as shooting, and I don't care about shots, you know, as long as we win.
All right, Coach, now the team really raised the bar tonight, and I know you weren't happy with the Rhode Island effort at times, but now shooting near perfect, are you going to hold them to that standard now for the remainder of the season?
Well, I think that's the key. I mean, when you don't like something, you change it, and then if you change it and you have positive results, then you got to build on that. So Friday night, I would hope that we would come out with the same energy level, the same intensity level, and the same execution that we had in the first half tonight. And if we do, then it'll be a positive step. But, you know, what we don't want to do is just come out and go through the motions and win because of our talent. Yeah, we have more talent than Wake, and everybody can see that. But I think you have to play above your talent rather than just go out and win the game because you're better than they are.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Bob?
All right, guys.
Okay, thank you very much, Megan. Diana Taurasi, 14 points. Swin Cash, 14 points, 9 rebounds. Asia Jones, 13. Sue Bird, 12.7 assists. Tamika Williams, 10 points. Next up for UConn, Ball State Friday night. You'll see it 7:30 right here on Connecticut Public Television. For Megan Pattison, I'm Bob Picozzi. Thanks so much for joining us. And so long from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, where UConn beats Wake Forest 88-38.